Should the Browns trade for Saints receiver Michael Thomas? Ooh, good question. Michael Thomas's future in New Orleans is murky because he's played 7 games the past 2 years. I'm not sure that's something that you really want to have for your very high-paid wide receiver. I don't know how much he'd be worth on the open market. And if you're the Browns, are you like, take Michael Thomas, has his own question marks, or do you want to take a receiver in round 1? You could have almost your pick of Garrett Wilson, Olave, Williams, London, Burks, etc. It's a good topic. I think we'll discuss plenty here because I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints moved on from Michael Thomas. So with that in mind, where do you think he will play in 2022? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's mailbag. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know where Michael Thomas plays this upcoming season. From Ryan, should the Browns focus on signing a receiver in free agency or drafting one? It's a good question. I think either works. They want to operate with a certain amount of money. You got to re-sign some guys. Edge is a big-time need as well. I feel better about the Browns having a great or good receiver on the board than a great edge rusher. There's kind of a gap there with how the board will probably fall. So look at the free agency market. If you find a good value, sign one. If not, sign a cheap guy and then take somebody in round 1 or in round 2. Super chat from Atlantis Gaming. Will Von Miller return to the Denver Broncos? I don't think it's that outlandish. I think there are a bunch of teams that are going to have interest this year in Von Miller. I think Denver does make sense. If they get a franchise QB, then Von might want to go back to Denver. And how great of a move would that be for Denver? That is the Aroldis Chapman trade, if we want to cross sports here, where the Yankees dealt him, got him from your prayer, and then re-signed him in the offseason. Some teams that also make sense. Rams, the Browns have been linked before. The Rams could just re-sign him, of course. The Chargers got some ties, and, of course, Dallas makes sense because he's kind of home from there. So where will Von Miller play in 2022? If you get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down to the pinned comment and make your predictions as to where Miller plays this upcoming season. From Taylor Holland, based on when they came out only, Malik Willis have a better chance to be Dak Prescott upside or Dwayne Haskins 2.0. So I think that the player comparison from play style standpoint don't really do it for me. Willis is way more athletic than either of those guys is and more raw as a passer. Prescott has had success because he has been one of the premier workers in the NFL and is pretty darn accurate and great pre-snap. Malik Willis is not there yet in those areas, in the pre-snap area. You're probably looking more, if you want to go play style fits, in the Jalen Hurts mold. I think he's more of a runner than Prescott is, but Willis is a better runner than Hurts is. The Lamar Jackson style of QB, those dual threats, but he's got a cannon too. So Willis has more upside than either of those two guys did, but he's also not there yet as a passer. If he hits, I think he's a top 10 QB. I am concerned about him hitting, though. So I'm not really answering your question, which he's more like. I think if you're looking for a play style of those two, I think the closest thing to Prescott this year is actually probably Desmond Ridder, the UC quarterback. They got some strengths and weaknesses there. Willis, I'm looking to see if I have a player comp here for me in my notes, so I've already finished him up here. I think, here's my player comp for Willis. Stronger armed version and a bit more athletic of Tyrod Taylor. They're very similar builds. Their athletic testing wasn't that different either. Now, Willis's arm and upside is better than Taylor's is, but he's got to prove it first. The highs are incredible. The lows for Malik Willis are pretty concerning as well.
Super Bowl 56 is in the books. The Los Angeles Rams took down the Cincinnati Bengals. But now here's my question. I want you to look into the crystal ball, and I want you to let me know who is going to win Super Bowl 57. I know the last time I checked the terms of the teams that were the favorites, Chiefs, Bills, Rams, Cowboys, Bengals, and I believe the 49ers were the top 6 teams to go on to win Super Bowl 57. If you disagree with those 6 odds, hey, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's go to Taco Frog 88. Who is the biggest defensive free agent If you're talking about height and weight, I do not know the answer to that. If you're talking about just who I think the top offensive free agent is, I'll say J.C. Jackson. He's a shutdown corner. He's had 17 interceptions the past 2 seasons, 25 picks the past 4. Dude had 23 pass breakups. So if you need a shutdown corner, I'm going to go ahead and say it's a guy like J.C. Jackson. If it's overall height and weight, I don't really have a good answer for it on that, but I know, I'm being sarcastic. Let's go to NY Jets, Florida. Where will Dante Fowler sign? Really good question. We were actually talking about it before I went live here on today's show. So the Atlanta Falcons, they released Dante Fowler, who I believe was the number 3 overall pick a few years ago, if my memory serves me correct. He's bounced around from the Rams, went over to Atlanta. He can sign basically anywhere. The issue is this, though, right? If I'm an NFL team, and the fact that Atlanta released him now, that one is a red flag to me. On top of that, I'm going to save my money. I'm going to wait until free agency, and then I'm going to go out and spend. And if Fowler's still available after you go out and get your top priority guys, then sure. But I'll say right now, anybody that's in desperate need of an edge rusher.
Today's video is powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you guys see on that. It's NFL Daily. It'll get you a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL Daily. Taylor Holland, love the show. Perfect timing coming after the sub read. You guys should do a top 50 prospect NFL pro comp show. I'll try and do a big board at some point this year, and in that scenario, I'll throw in some pro comps. I don't like to force them, though, because I do them as like play style and athletic ability and size, and it always ends up getting interpreted as, oh, you mean he's going to be as good as that player, which is almost never what I'm going for, but that's just how comps are. I get it. Second part is, would love it. Which team likely trades back up into round 1? Ooh, good question. I could see a team like the Jets have the draft capital to pull it off. Now, they're pretty aggressive, so I'll go with the Jets. 2 early second rounders. They could get aggressive with some of those picks. They've got a lot of them this year. So I will shoot my shot. Give me the Jets this year. If you want more free NFL videos, boy, if you guys come to the right spot, hit that big red button and subscribe today for free NFL videos on news, rumors, trades, draft, free agency, and mailbags like these. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. From Michael Ayers, do you think Kyler Murray will be traded? So for those of you that don't know, Kyler Murray at the beginning of this week made note of, hey, his social media was scrubbed, which is super weird. It leads to all of the rumors, right? I don't think he gets dealt, but we'll see. It's certainly a possibility, far more than what it was even a day ago or at the beginning of the week, so probably not, but at least have to have the conversation now at this point. From Dan233, will the Lions ever be good? Yes, they will. At some point in the lifetime of football in the NFL, the Lions will win another playoff game. I don't know when, but it'll happen at some point.